And welcome back. This is the Alchemist Nation podcast. My name is Walter Mcelroy. I'll be your host. This is a real estate podcast designed around teaching you and giving you more exposure to successful investors all across the country. Today, I'm hanging out with one of my good friends, a student and a future millionaire, Mellisa Darling. Mellisa, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, Mellisa, are you excited to be here?
I'm excited to be here, yeah.
I'm excited to have you. So anybody who's come through my mentorship, I get excited when I see you doing deals and taking action. So you have really stepped up the game as far as people coming in who don't have rental property and just jumping ahead to not a 3-family, not a 4-family, but going way past and going into a 22-unit building as your first deal. So Mellisa, what would you say before I get into that? What brought you to real estate in the first place?
That's a great question. I call it a quarter life crisis. So I was in, I'm pretty young still. So I graduated in 2016 from Brandeis University and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I feel like many college students. So I wanted to learn how to create wealth. I didn't know what that was at the time. And I thought it was in mutual funds. So I was like, okay, I'll go work at a bank. So I worked at a bank for a couple years, switched a job, realized corporate life's not for me. Where do I want to go? Got into real estate.
Wow. So you did the same exact path I did. I always wanted to work for a bank because I was like, they got all the money. And wanted to get my 501c3, not 501c3, I wanted to get my securities licenses. And I just never did because I realized, like you did, real estate's faster. Real estate makes more, it's bigger, and it's got a more long-term strategy attached to it, which means wealth for a long time. Mm-hmm. So very cool. Mellisa, you mentioned you're young. How young are you?
I'm 26.
So you're not even 30 years old yet, which most people don't buy their first house until they're about 31. So you're skipping first house and going straight into multifamilies, and you just jumped past small multis and went right into a 22-unit building, which is pretty cool. And it's a cool niche. In fact, I just bought one very similar to what you've got, although mine's only 18. So if we're gonna measure, right? So how did you come into this mentorship program? Because I know I've asked you before in the beginning, but what would you say the mentorship has really given you so far?
It's given me, how did I enter into the mentorship program? I went to Tony Robbin's Unleash the Power Within event. Super mind-changing life experience. Highly promote that to everyone who's in an entrepreneurial role. But so that got me into the program, kind of got me to pull the trigger. I'd already known about you and the mentorship and everything. And I wanted to do it. I just was like scared to sign up because I was like, oh, he's going to push me hard. So I was kind of just like holding off for a little bit.
You were right. I was going to push you hard.
Yeah. No, but it's a really good, the program that you guys create, like there's so much support and accountability that I don't know what I was afraid of. So I got into the program, great stuff. And I think to answer your other question, the biggest takeaway that I've had is just like that mindset shift and the confidence boost. So everyone in the group is like, again, super supportive, especially like with this deal. Like this deal would not exist if I was not in the mentorship program. So I've said this on a few of your calls. Terry Wager's the one who basically said, why just 3 doors, And that got my mind thinking, well, I guess you're right. Like, why just 3 doors? So
when you're looking at real estate, the more doors, the less roofs, the better. We want to consolidate our portfolios, get it into the easiest position to manage as possible. So you made a couple of right choices early in life, which has allowed you to get here, including coaching and mentorship, surrounding yourself with the right community, and taking action. And that's really been, so far, it seems like what we see out of you is you're an action taker, you listen to the right advice, and you go and you do something about it. So if somebody is interested in learning more about the mentorship, you can go to waltermcelroy.com/live and come to our live trainings on Saturdays. Or you can actually just join right up for the mentorship at waltermcelroy.com/mentor. and we get you right into the program. It's an 8-week program where we kick your ass and we turn out apparently people who can buy a 22-unit building. So with that plug in, Melissa, let's dive into the details on this property. How did you find the deal itself?
Yeah, so I found the deal just by networking. So I was networking with a realtor, for a couple months now, and he's seasoned. He's been in the business for a while. We just have really great conversations, and we just kind of facilitate the relationship over the course of like 6 months. And he knows I'm in investing. He knows I have a network of investors, so he sent the deal along to me when he saw it. He got the deal because he knew the seller from business in the past. So that's kind of how it came across. And I was like, oh, like he sent it to me because he was thinking I would send it out to my investors. And I was kind of like, well, I want to look at it for myself. So so when I told him,
take a look at this one personally, and then I'll send it along later. This is every investor's fear when they work with a real estate agent. They're like, well, how do I know you're not going to take the deals? What do you mean? I don't take all of the deals. I can only afford a few of them. I just, let me just put this away. And yeah, no, I'll find you the deal, right? So
well, to be fair, I did not have a client that was looking for a 22-unit deal at the time.
So you did them a favor and you became the client that they were looking for.
Exactly.
Awesome. I love the story so far. So Melissa, going into it deeper, now that you said, okay, you know what, this deal's been brought to me, you introduced me to the seller. What is the next step? How did you go and negotiate this where you have a pretty flexible contract where he's pretty understanding about your situation, that you're looking to raise capital to get it? What did some of those first conversations go like?
Well, so I left him a voicemail to start. I just said, hey, like, got in touch with, Jason's the realtor that got me connected, and have some questions on the property. So he called me back. Actually, I was like visiting another agent's open house, like networking in the middle of it. So the whole call ended up taking up the whole course of the open house. But he's just super cool from the start. So I feel like, I was going to adjust to whatever tone he set. And so he set a cool tone of being super open and honest with the deal. So therefore I was super open and honest with the fact that I'm a first-time investor. This is my first investment deal. I have a lot of questions and I'm going to need assistance throughout the process. And he wants to sell, I want to buy. So it kind of just all fell together. And he's been thus far like super willing to, work with me in terms of, what do I need to get the deal done? And he's going to offer me 4 months of consultation services when I take it over, because it is a, specific property. So,
so that is amazing. And it goes, this is such a powerful lesson for anybody who's listening to this right now. If you can just be honest with the seller and be clear about what your issues are, and just say, hey, look, this is what I'm looking to accomplish. This is what I might need from you. Would you be willing to provide that service to me? And a seller who's got experience, especially when you get into these larger commercial buildings, they have experience. They understand where you're coming from. They can offer a little bit of their services to help you get along through the deal a little bit easier. So now that you've got it locked down, you've got this 4-month coaching, session set up with him for the future. What is the next step after that? What are you working towards right now?
In this deal specifically?
Yes.
So we have our inspection coming up this week. So that's going to be on Thursday. And a big part, if you're in my network, you knew that I was looking for a partner. So that was a big process as well, as finding a partner to bring the sum of the down payment, raising capital and such like that. So I am pretty confident that I have one solidified and I'm very excited about it. So that's good. And she's going to come to the inspection on Thursday as well. So we'll take a look at it, kind of get more of a strategy and a game plan for what we plan to do with it long term. And actually, I guess a little bit of a insight. So I'm, in terms of like who you want for a partner, I'm not like a master at this, but I would say it's good to get somebody that complements your personality. So I'm not the most like creative and strategic person. So my partner is someone who has that. So it's good to have, you know, the yin and the yang, as she says. So,
So I love it because I know your partner. I know your partner personally because she also came through our program, and she was through the mentorship. And that's actually how you both met. Is that correct?
So I met her at a networking event like a while back, Black Diamond, when it was existing. We both went through the same Fortune Builders training. So I kind of like met her that way as well. But I had never spoken to her again since that first time I met her. And I was just like so enamored because she was like, you know, she has all these businesses, and she just, you know, she's very successful. And so
She's pretty impressive. She's a high energy, intense, influential personality. So, so it can be kind of the opposite of what you are, where you're kind of calm and just analyzing and running through things. So definitely an intense personality. And you're right. It's exactly what you look for in a partnership. You want somebody who complements you, is on the other side of the disc profile. If you're calm, then you want somebody who's high energy so that you can really explode your company. And I really like him. And if the partnership and deal works out for the both of you, then awesome. If not, if somebody was looking to get into this deal with you, what would that look like? And what kind of a partner are you looking to gain? Or I guess, what would the easiest way for somebody to reach out to you be if they were looking to partner on a deal like this?
Yeah, so in terms of what it would be structured like, I've been thinking about this a lot this past week, and I've talked to Terry, I've talked to you guys, and, you know, I'm pretty open in terms of like again, it depends on who you are as a person and how we mesh and what are your goals, what are my goals. So it's all dependent upon those factors and what we end up working out, you know, in a scenario. I'll say that for now, I guess.
That's probably the best way to say it is that depends case by case. Each person is different. I partner with people differently based on their personalities and what they bring to the table. If they bring money, cool. If they bring the transaction or they can do the deal for me, there's all sorts of different reasons that you would partner with somebody. So Mellisa, this is your first deal. It's your first big deal. What do you think happens after this? Once this one closes and you get it managed and you're stabilized, what is it you're going to be looking for after this?
It's a good question. So there's going to be a lot of learning with this one for certain. And you know, with Kim, if it ends up doing like coming through to fruition for that, I know she's got some cool ideas. So that would be just a huge learning process in terms of if we decide to do any development or anything with it, or what could be. But it's also property management as well. That's a huge learning experience. So what is next? I don't know. I'm building my real estate sales business. I want to get some flips under my belt to just continue to grow and keep going. I definitely want to buy a multifamily to live in. So that's going to be on the books hopefully within the next year. That's the goal.
Nice. I love the move in 3 families, 4 families. House hacking. It's how you make money.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Mellisa, basically, if somebody was looking to get into this, what would you say would be the first step? If somebody was looking to, you know, they're 25, 26 years old, they're looking to get into real estate. Well, you've been through a lot of trainings. What would you say is the first step for starting to take action? What would you attribute that to?
I would say find a mentor. And then also the calls. Your calls are really great. I find that's the content on those calls are fantastic. So Monday nights at 5 p.m. If you're an agent, Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Saturday morning calls at 10 a.m. All the plugs. But like honestly though, like I spent a lot of money. Well, I think it's a lot of money. I spent a lot of money on my education in real estate, and it did like accelerate my learning curve, but it's not necessary, especially if you are networking with the right people. And if you're listening to this podcast, then you're starting your path to get there. And, you know, there's ways to get connected, like go to those calls, get connected to the people that are on those calls, start networking with investors, go to all the meetups, and you're going to find somebody that's going to take you under their belt and want to see you succeed. If you come from somebody who's already doing the things you want to do and somebody who's already being successful in that, you know, like I have 2 interns right. Well, I have one in, I don't know, 1.5 interns. We haven't actually like implemented anything yet for the second one, but like I'm super dedicated to seeing them succeed, and you know, we'll see what happens. But and you know, if it's not something I can help with, I have a whole network of investors to help them. So
Absolutely. You're expanding quickly, you're learning, you're growing, and you're now giving the opportunity for other people to learn with you, giving them internships so that they can come in, they can work for free and learn the ropes. If you've read the book, which I know you've read it because you've been part of the mentorship, but if you've read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he says it, you got to work for free. And it's the smartest thing you can do. It's the best education you can get is go and work for somebody who's already doing what you want to do and offer them a service that you know that they're looking for and work for free. And then by doing that, eventually you learn the ropes, you can start doing your own deals and moving forward to the next level, which is buying your own properties, flipping your own properties. You've got a lot on your plate, Mellisa. What is the biggest driver you would say that you have? You don't have kids, right? You don't have all the stresses of adulthood, although you are an adult. What is it that excites you about building wealth? What got you into this? What's your passion driven by?
so that's basically what's my why.
There you go. What's your why? Like written like any good book.
Well, so my why started with like, you know, sitting in the corporate office being like, okay, this is not where my trajectory is not where I want it to be. Yeah, like another reason why I got into this business is like being in the corporate office, you'd go around and talk to people who've been at the business for 10 plus years. You ask them like, are they happy where they are in life? And the answer is always no, like I'm not happy with my job, I'm not happy with the salary and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, well, why don't you do anything about it? And you find people get complacent. And so I think that's one of my biggest things is I don't want to be complacent because I see what happens when you get complacent.
Yeah.
I've seen the people that have been their job for 10 years and they're just like miserable in their lives. And I don't want to be that. So that's like a big driver for me internally. And then like obviously family is a huge thing for everyone. I don't have like a kids or anything like that, but I do have parents, and my parents have, they've been super supportive with me throughout my years in sports and everything like that, and especially now in real estate. And I would like to be able to support them, where they don't have to stress about money anymore. It doesn't have to be like a conversation over dinner or anything like that. So I want money to be a non-issue going forward. And that's like a huge goal of mine. So like, oh, you need like $20,000 for whatever. Okay, sure. I'll loan it out to you with no questions asked. So.
I like that. So you're in this to be able to help, to be in a good position to be able to help. Based on your disc profile when I ran it, that makes a lot of sense. Being the high S, I, and C in there. Your personality is a people-oriented, giving personality. So definitely the ideal type of partnership. And you epitomize everything about the program, right? You're honest, you're ethical, you're moral, you're doing deals, you're growing, you're educating yourself. Since joining the program, how many books have you read since you've been in the mentorship?
I didn't know this question was going to come up. I got to check my notes. A lot. I was reading like 3 books a week some weeks. It was crazy. But I do have it all tracked here. So
Of course you do.
I joined in July.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because it's my personality type.
Of course you do. You organize everything. So great job. What's the verdict? You count right now?
16.
16 books since July. Awesome.
Yeah. And I'm almost done with 17.
Awesome. What are you reading right now?
18. 18 should be finished, but it's a real book, so it's a little slower.
So what are you reading right now? What do you mean by real book?
It's like a physical book, like not an Audible. So my Audible book that I'm reading right now I did read that one.
There's a physical book like this? Like, wait, one of these?
I did not get that physical book. I got that one on Audible, but
Sorry, it's still my voice. I still read it. Broke to $250,000. The point is not to work, it's to generate income.
Yeah. Plug. That's a really good book. And Walter goes on a couple tangents, which gives you a lot of added value. So I highly recommend it.
You're talking about the audio version, right?
Yeah, the audio version. I mean, you can get the real version too. Just have him sign it.
The signed version is worth much more. So Melissa, which books did you just finish reading, are reading, and are about to read?
I just finished the E-Myth Revisited last week, and then the Compound Effect. I think I did, it was like 2 books in a week and a half. And then I'm right now reading the ABCs of Real Estate Investing, which is going perfectly with this deal. It tells you like all the steps you need to do to verify everything, which is great. And then the other book I'm reading is, I'll pull it up, hold on.
Yeah, the ABCs of Real Estate Investing by Mcelroy is a phenomenal book for anybody who's wondering how to analyze deals.
Yeah, or like the conversation too, to have, it goes through like the conversation on the phone to have with a potential seller. So
awesome.
This is the book I've been reading for a bit, The Geometry of Wealth. Fun fact, what do you say? Yeah, I feel like it's not really well known, but the whole first half of the book really resonated with me. That's kind of like another prelude to why I got into real estate, is like it talks about kind of like happiness, I can't think of words right now, but it's literally half the book talks about like what's the meaning of life. The meaning of life isn't to work, it's to be happy, what makes you happy, relationships, experiences, and things like that. Whereas a lot of people think that, spending money on shoes or material items is going to make you happy. It doesn't make you happy. So it talks a lot about the psychology of fulfillment is a good word for it. So
the psychology of fulfillment or happiness, ordering it right now. So thank you.
I hope you like it. I feel like so I reread it recently because I wanted to see what it was like after all these books I've been reading. I was like, yeah, it's all the same stuff that I've been reading.
So same stuff, different authors, when I read a book, all I'm looking for is that one sentence. All I'm looking for is one sentence that I can talk about, or I can have a landing point, or maybe different authors write it differently, so I can give it to a different student depending on the way the book is written. So, a lot of these books I've been told, oh, well, they're all the same. No, after 300 and something books, they're not all the same. They all have a little difference, and I pick something up from different books. And sometimes it's nice not to read the same book over again. And I can hear it from a different author in a different way. And other books, as you know, we read over and over and over. Because there's still something to learn from them. So, Melissa, we've got about 3 minutes left. This is my favorite part of the call. I like to go back and ask you, what are the 3 pieces of advice? This was not too long ago. So what would you give for advice to your 20-year-old self, 20-year-old Melissa, and say, if you do these things, you'll be there faster, you'll be there happier, more abundant. What 3 pieces of advice would you give yourself 6 years ago?
I would give myself, start listening to podcasts on real estate investing and reading the books. Start networking with real estate investors. Go to the meetups, and then find a mentor.
Awesome. Very concise, typical of your personality. So I love it. Other people, like, they'll tell a story on every lesson, and like that 3 minutes burns out real quick. So, awesome, Melissa, you're amazing. You're doing an awesome job. 22 units at 26 years old, building partnerships. You're doing this with other people, so you're helping other people gain wealth. Watching you grow has been absolutely fascinating. I know this is just the beginning, and I love seeing you continue to grow with us, grow with the community, and keep networking. So, Melissa, one more plug. What is the easiest way somebody can get in touch with you if they're looking to get in touch and learn more about either you as a real estate agent or this deal?
Yeah, you can shoot me an email at melisadarling25@gmail.com. Awesome. And you could also shoot me a text. I'll take text messages. 781. Should I do it? No, should I not?
Go ahead. I do it all the time. Go ahead.
781-413-1874.
Awesome. Now you just can't change your number. That's all.
Yeah.
So, Melissa, this Saturday, you'll be there just like you always are. Every Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, walteramarillo.com/live. And you can learn how the 52 weeks to wealth, 52 wealth principles to get rich and happy are helping people move forward their lives, just like Melissa is. She's been in this program for a long time.
We're coming up on week 40, which is more about habits. So week 2 into habits. So when that said, Melissa, you have a wonderful day. Cheers to your success when you have a choice.
Always work with the
Work with
best.
the best. Later, Melissa.
See you, Walter. Thank you.